Hello, student. Today we are going to discuss a new topic. The topic is storage and distribution of water. This second unit has been divided into two portions. First portion is the storage of the water, distribution of the water, and the second portion is more related to the storage of water. Right. So you all understand that water cannot be supplied directly, or should not be. I would say it should not be supplied directly from the source to the distribution system. It should have some reserved capacity also. For that purpose, reservoirs are used so that in case of supply shortage, we must ensure a supply of water for at least some time before the continuous supply from the source to the reservoir is maintained. So the system we used is having a reservoir in which a certain amount of water is stored. For a very simple example of this is you can see that you have overhead tanks in different localities within the city, within the towns. जो आप लोगों ने पानी की टंकी देखी होगी, it acts as an overhead or an elevated reservoir only, right? So even if there is a problem in the source system, where from the water is coming from that source to the elevated reservoir system, even then there would be a certain amount of water available in the overhead tank which can be used for emergency purposes intermittently, right? So to understand the supply of water system, we must understand what are the factors which we should keep in mind while designing a distribution system. A distribution system is not something that is made in a random way, but it has a very systematic design to it. And what are the factors which lead to the systematic designing of the storage system are given below. And I must read and tell you what are these points which are responsible for designing the distribution system. The first point is the method of distribution, such as gravity method, pumping method, and dual method, should be carefully decided according to the condition of intake point and the distribution area. Right? When we have to supply water to a certain town, or when we have to supply water to a certain water supply scheme, then what we have to do is first decide that where is the intake point from the surface source. Mostly the water which is being collected for the distribution into a society, into a locality, is from a surface source which is the most closest to the places where the system of supply is to be maintained. So for that we must first ensure that we find a surface source where ample amount of water is present throughout the year. You understand that there are rivers which are perennial rivers which flow all along the year, and there can be rivers which are flooding while in the winter season, or say the rainy season, and which are don't have too much water in the summer season. So we must first understand that how much our source is capable of delivering water along the period of 1 year, right? So after we decide on a source, then we'll have to decide that this source is where it is situated and how it will affect the system to be designed. There can be a certain number of systems which can be used for water supplying. There can be a gravity method in which all the water would flow under the influence of gravity. There can be a pumping method where mechanical and electrical energy would be used in the form of pumps to supply water to the distribution mains. And there can also be a dual system where the pump system and the gravity system can be used simultaneously at different places, right? So we have to initially decide the method of distribution of which method would we prefer to use, right? The second point is it should maintain the degree of purity, right? So the surface source which are being utilized can or cannot be free of certain impurities. So if the system is free of impurities, very less clarification or very less treatment is required. But if a source is contaminated with say algae, then we'll have to understand that there is a certain higher degree of treatment which is to be required for the water before it is supplied to the distribution main. So it should maintain a degree of purity before the water comes into the distribution pipeline. ठीक है. And the distribution pipelines should not be taken below the sewer lines, right? In case of the leakage of sewer lines, it should not get the drinking water or the water supplied for the drinking purpose should not be contaminated by the sewer lines. So sewer lines are always laid below the water pipelines which are having pure water, right? Third point is the joint of pipeline should be perfectly done and tested before filling up the trenches to ensure any leakage of the joints, right? In the first unit I have told you about how to check the water supply pipelines and what are the type of gauges which are installed at places, the pressure gauges, the slice valve. All these are provided so that the testing of the pipeline can be done easily, and before the water is supplied to the distribution mains there should be a perfect checkup on whether the pipeline is free from any leakage of the joints, right? The next point can be, it should be so laid that during repairs it does not cause obstruction to traffic. Okay, this condition is not much prevalent in Indian small cities because when the water pipeline or sewer pipeline repair work is going on, the population is generally affected, the travelers are generally affected. In Lucknow we can have an example, the roads near Shani temple and near Parivartan has all been dug up for like months now. So the problem for traffic arises at that area. Preferably the pipeline should be laid at places that in the case of maintenance and repair of the pipeline it should not affect the traffic scheme, right? It is not so much effective in small cities, but in bigger cities, in metropolitan cities, in cosmopolitan cities, it is pretty much possible to avoid inconvenience to the traffic during the repair hours, right? The next point is the pipe should be anti-corrosive and strong enough to bear the loads of vehicle passing over the pipeline. As I have told you that there is certain amount of soil cover which is provided for any pipeline before the pipeline is laid. What I basically mean is that when a pipeline is laid, this pipeline should be strong and rigid enough that if a fully loaded vehicle which has a load of about the design load of the road, if it crosses the section where the pipeline is laid, the pipeline should not be affected. This is the only purpose, that pipeline is at least about 1 meter from the road surface where the road is running, right? So at places where the traffic is heavy, we must ensure that a proper cover is being provided so that the water pipelines are not affected by the movement of traffic or by the load of the traffic. The next point is each zone should be separated by a slice valve, that is a gate valve. I have already explained to you the uses of gate valve in the previous lecture, so you know that the gate valves are used for disconnecting the water supply to a certain section. So when the repair work is being done, for that section only should be affected by the water supply, and other sections should remain unaffected, and that can be easily done with the help of slice valve. Slice valves और गेट valve बेसिकली आप लोग जो है इसको अपने घरों में देख सकते हैं. जब फॉर एग्जांपल आपके घर की 2 टंकियां भरती हैं तो आपने देखा होगा कि किसी भी एक टंकी से जो पहले जो पाइप निकला होता है उसमें एक जो है वो वॉल्व रहता है जिसको अगर आप क्लोज कर देंगे तो टोटल सप्लाई जो है वो दूसरी तरफ रन करने लगेगी. ठीक है, दीज आर द सिमिलर टाइप ऑफ गेट वॉल्व्स विच आर प्रोवाइडेड इन होम्स. These the larger slice valves are provided in the water supply scheme also, so that the water can be diverted from the place of repair to other sections, right? The next point is the inspection chamber should be provided at a specific point. स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट पर जो है वो इंस्पेक्शन चैम्बर्स जो है प्रोवाइड करने चाहिए. एयर प्रेशर से लेकर और आपका हर तरीके की चीज़ को जो है जितने भी तरीके के प्रेशर्स लग रहे हैं और जो भी रिपेयर के लिए है, तो उसके लिए इंस्पेक्शन चैम्बर्स जो है वो प्रोवाइड करने चाहिए। और वो इंस्पेक्शन चैम्बर जो है, जो आपकी वाटर सप्लाई स्कीम का मैप होता है, उस मैप के ऊपर स्पेशली मेंशन होते हैं कि किस किस जगह पर जो है आपके इंस्पेक्शन चैम्बर्स हैं। The system should be capable of supplying water at consumers tap at reasonable pressure head. आपका सिंपल सी चीज़ है, पानी जब आ रहा है और आपके घर पे पानी आ रहा है, तो आपके टैप से जो पानी आ रहा है वो एक रीज़नेबल प्रेशर पे होना चाहिए। और वो प्रेशर बहुत कम नहीं होना चाहिए, एकदम धीरे पानी आ रहा है ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए, और ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए कि पानी बहुत तेज़ी से आ रहा है, क्योंकि जितना ज़्यादा पानी जो है स्पीड से आ रहा होगा, जितना ज़्यादा प्रेशर से पानी आ रहा होगा, द चांसेस ऑफ वेस्टेज ऑफ वाटर विल इंक्रीज बाय दैट अमाउंट। सो बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सेसिव नहीं आना चाहिए और बहुत कम भी नहीं आना चाहिए, ठीक है। द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज़ द 9th पॉइंट, द सिस्टम शुड बी कैपेबल ऑफ मीटिंग द फायर डिमांड एंड शुड बी ईजी टू ऑपरेट एंड मेंटेन। In case of fire hazard, the water supply scheme always helps the fire fighting squad, and these locations from where the water can be drawn out are on the map of the water supply scheme, and also on the map of the fire department, and it should be convenient to use for the firefighters, right? The last point is the initial cost of distribution should be as low as possible. That being said, a pipeline being laid should always be laid such that the initial distribution cost should be as low as possible. For example, if we are taking a longer route to a certain place with the distribution mains of the bigger size, then there is an acute possibility of the initial cost to go up. So we have to decide on paths from where a major section of the society is being served, and also the amount of expenditure is also kept in check, ठीक है। Now next we can discuss the method of distribution. So there are three basic methods of distribution of water supply. The first is the gravity system, the second is combined gravity and pumping system, which can also be called the dual system, and the third is pumping system. You can see the figure of the gravity system. What happens is that there is a surface source, for example there is a river. From that river you understand that the river will always have impurities, the rivers will always have a certain amount of impurities which are to be treated before the water can be supplied for the potable uses to the homes. So there is an intake structure that is designed near the river bank, and from that intake structure the water is being pumped. So at least the use of one pump before the treatment plant is being done, and if the treatment plant or from that treatment plant after the treatment the water is taken into an elevated reservoir, a distribution reservoir that is called. If the distribution reservoir is at a higher elevation from the city, then the water is supplied directly under the influence of gravity, and it should be maintained that the water should reach the last part of the sections with an effective pressure, such that there is not a higher pressure also and there is not a low pressure problem also. ये बहुत ही फ़ायदेमंद रहता है, because this is the most reliable and economical distribution system, as there is no possibility of break of water due to mechanical or electrical failure. जितना कम मैकेनिकल और इलेक्ट्रिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स का इस्तेमाल होगा, जितना सिस्टम्स जो है वो कम लगेंगे, देर आर लो चांसेस ऑफ फेलियर. ओनली द पंप हाउस सेक्शन कैन फेल, and even if the pump house section fails, there is an ample amount of water present in the distribution reservoir to maintain the water supply until the pump house pump is being repaired, right? So the gravity system is one of the best system, but the only drawback of this system is it is dependent upon the reservoir on being on a higher head than to the entire city. This is not always the case that a right pressure can be maintained by a gravity system, because gravity system does not work on a mechanical means, so that the water supply through the distribution main is not controlled in any manner, except that we have slice walls and gate walls for everything we have. But the problem is that the pressure with which the water is leaving the distribution reservoir is not necessarily high enough to supply the maximum demand. So we come to the conclusion that we require another system. This another system is called the combined gravity and pumping system. What happens in a combined gravity and pumping system, we understand that the entire of the town or the city cannot be at an elevation where the reservoir can supply the water under the influence of gravity directly to the pumps or directly to the houses. So what we do is after the treatment plant there is a pump house, and the pump house pumps the water to an elevated reservoir, which is your in simple words, which is your pani ki tanki that you see. ठीक है, and that elevated reservoir then continuously supplies the water under the influence of gravity to the city. So what we are doing is that we are first pumping the water from the intake structure after the treatment to the elevated reservoir, and after the elevated reservoir this water is being supplied to the entire city or entire town or entire locality where it is expected to serve. A locality can have numerous numbers of elevated reservoirs serving it. So this is definitely not serving the entire city, but depending upon the capacity of elevated reservoir and depending upon the size of the population that it is serving, it is made that the elevated reservoir has sufficient amount of water. In case of pump failure, the elevated reservoir should maintain the water supplied up to a certain time, so that it gives a window for the pump section to be maintained or repaired, right? So this is a fairly reliable system, because in case of any failure of pumping mechanism, the water supply can be continued for some period from the reservoir. This method is also known as pumping with a storage system, right? So two methods we have understand. The third method is the pumping system, which solely depends upon the electrical and mechanical means, right? What happens in the system is water is pumped directly into the distribution system to achieve the required pressure. Generally, double pumping is required, first to pump raw water from the source to the treatment works, and then the pump purified water direct into the distribution mains. Yani there is no concept of storing the water. The water is first taken out from the intake for the treatment unit, and after the treatment unit it is again pumped in directly into the distribution main. And since that it is pumped directly into distribution main, the pump can be of a certain power, so that the amount of water which is required to reach the most distant sections of this water supply scheme, that amount of pressure can be maintained by mechanical means. But owing to this method is basically dependent on the mechanical and electrical means, any electrical failures or any mechanical failures will lead to the disruptance in the water supply scheme. The system is totally dependent on the mechanical and electrical power. So in case of any failure of the mechanism, the entire water distribution system is disturbed, right? So this system is only applied when there is an absolute necessity to maintain a certain amount of pressure to supply the water to a certain distant location or certain height elevated position. So the third system is not so much in use, but it is only used when it is absolute necessary to maintain a certain pressure, like in industrial areas where the amount of water required is at a certain pressure. So that at that place this pumping system can be used, but the most used and the most effective method of water supplying is the combined gravity and the pumping system. Okay, in the next class we will discuss about the pressure and distribution system. I would expect you to make the notes of all those topics that I am being given you continuously, and please get it checked, everyone. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you.